strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Bulldog here, and today I'm going to talk about a Splinterlands third-party tool that I actually used on my last stream that a lot of people were intrigued by, and they wanted to learn more, so I'm going to make a full video showcasing Splintertools and what it can do. It's actually something that I've kind of looked at in the past, and they've just expanded some of their features. So I also had to go in and try out some of their new features, and we're gonna look at that a little bit. And there's some controversy behind it, so we can kind of tackle that. But let's just go in and take a look at what Splintertools does. So first, you've got the free version. If you come up here to Splintertools, the link's in the description, splintertools.io. Up in this train, this is where it comes when you go to the main site. You can actually review your battles, and what I've looked at in the past, and what I looked at on the last stream, was the odds that I would win a specific battle. I played a battle that I thought I got extremely unlucky on. So I went into the battle. This is gonna be a different battle, but you can come here and you can click train, and you can, this was my opponent's team. This is what I submitted down here at the bottom, and you can hit this predict. And this predict is going to run the battle 100 times and tell you how many of them you win. And on my stream, I was like, man, I felt like that was so unlucky. I had to come here. I came here and it told me my win rate was 100%. Like, because it simulates the battle 100 times. So I won 100 of them. I had to hit that predict button a few times before it finally popped up at 99 or 98%. So the exact win percent chance during my battle was like 99.6 or something like that. Who knows what exactly it was, but it was near 100%, and I lost it, and that was kind of infuriating. But that's kind of what I've used it in the past for, is just kind of looking, hey, did I get lucky? Did I get unlucky? Like I run this, I'll hit predict sometimes several times to run more than 100 battles, because 100 is still a small sample size, but you're gonna get a pretty good idea there, right? So, and then what you could also do is kind of play the what if game. Because if you guys are like me, a lot of times you might be kind of agonizing over, do I choose this card or this card? Or do I go, or which summoner do I go with? Maybe you have a couple teams in mind and you're not sure which one you want to submit. You can come back here and change it. You can completely change up your team. Like I could decide, okay, what if I didn't want to play Almo in this battle? What if I wanted to play Cerberus? Now Cerberus is only level 1, but then I had 3 more mana left, so I could have plugged in Erase in there. Okay. So this team would have only won 47% of the time. And here, we'll see it change now when I run this. Okay, so you can see there's some variance there. So the exact, if we run more sample size, it's close to 50-50. Maybe a little better than 50% chance that I win that battle. But you can completely change your team up. Or if you're just like, man, what could I have possibly done to beat that team? Was that team I just played unbeatable in that rule set? With the cards that I have, you can come in here and try different things and play around with it, and it can be it's called train. It can be a very good training tool where you can kind of go have some more time to build different decks, or just kind of plan and see, okay, what should I have done instead against that team. Now obviously you don't know ahead of time what team you're facing, so it changes things up, but it can be a very good training tool to come in here. I just use it more for my own curiosity a lot of times, seeing how lucky I got in a battle, or on stream the other day, how unlucky I got. That was ridiculous. So, but anyways, that's been around there for quite a while. What they have also added, and that I just went and bought a few days ago so I could test out myself, is a new browser extension. It's on the extension up here. You can buy it. It costs one hive, which is less than $1 right now, so per month. So it's fairly cheap, but you can go download this extension, and let's actually just go into Splinterlands, and I'm going to show you a battle, what it does when we've got the extension installed. So let's see if I can not embarrass myself in a battle here. We're gonna go. It might take a while because I'm not gonna give myself too much time to submit a team, because we're gonna show some of the features here. So the thing that it's got a couple really good pieces of info. You'll notice up top here, it shows your enemy's quest, because that is actually public data available from Splinterlands, but it's not easily accessible data. So I feel like that's a very controversial thing there, is using this tool to know the enemy's quest. I know some people will say, anybody can access it. It's public data, and it is public data, but I couldn't tell you how to access it outside of this. Like, I don't know how to go get that information outside of a couple. I think there's a couple other tools that are paid tools that are either out or being developed as well that'll show you that. So I know that's kind of controversial, having info that gives you a paid advantage, or having info, paying for information that gives you an advantage. Some people aren't going to like that. We'll talk about that here as well. But then it'll show you their previous battles just like it normally would, except it shows you more. You can see more of them here, and then you can see some similar battles, and then that are going to look at similar rule sets, historical battles, no battles found. It'll kind of find some with the same similar mana, similar rule set, so you can do some better scouting than before. And then the other thing that I really like, that I will sometimes, especially in tournaments, the scouting that I'll do is looking at your opponent's summoners. So it'll tell you of the summoners that are available to be played. You can go over here and see what level they are. Does this show up when I hover over them? Yeah, you can see it there. You can hover over and see what level. Like we can say, okay, they don't have General Sloan, they don't have Mother Kala, they do have Prince Renan, they don't have Obsidian, so you don't have to worry about, oh, are they gonna play an Obsidian Magic team? And sometimes, especially if your opponent doesn't have a wide range of summoners available, then there won't be really a ton of options. So let's go, let's see if I can submit a team real quick. I've got 24 seconds here. And so what's gonna happen, we're gonna go with one of this range team that I run sometimes that I like quite a bit. Okay, 13, and then you can see over here on the right side, it's gonna tell you a win percent. It's going to run the battles based on your opponent's recent histories, what it thinks your opponent might play, and tell you a win percent. Now this is a very rough win percent. We're gonna hit that battle and actually run it. We'll see if we win. So that's a very, very rough estimate, but it's simulating your lineup versus some of your opponent's similar lineups, or other lineups that have been run based on a database that are commonly played with this similar mana, similar rule sets. I don't know all the exact details behind what it runs it against, but it will give you a win percentage against those teams and see how good your team is. So you can actually live, as you're submitting your team, see how good the algorithm thinks it is. Again, that's a very rough thing. I don't know how accurate that's going to be. So I don't want to say that's a true, I mean, this says 100%. I don't believe this team I submitted is unbeatable. So it's not that accurate, but it can sometimes give you a good idea of how good the team is. We'll let this battle run at 3 times speed. Let's just see. It thinks I'm guaranteed to win this. I don't. Now I do like this team here. I do think I'm going to win the battle, but I don't think that this team that I just chose in like 20 seconds is unbeatable and would have a 100% chance to win any match without knowing what my opponent is actually submitting, because there can be a lot of different factors involved. But again, it's still decent data. And this battle here is looking pretty good. And then after the battle, it'll actually show you the odds that you would win this specific matchup. So we're gonna go ahead and skip this because I've got this one won. And then down here, win rate 100%. So if this battle, I was basically guaranteed to win this battle. There's either no or very low amount of RNG that could have gone wrong for me to lose that. You saw there was some dodges in play. There's always some RNG going on. As we advance to champion, live while I'm making a video. That was definitely not planned. Anyways, it's a very useful tool, and the question that's going to come back is, what do people think of having paid information like that, easily accessible information? That makes scouting much easier. Again, okay, just looking at the summoners, that's the part of the scouting that I actually really like, is being able to see the summoners and what my opponent could potentially play. Now, a lot of times up at champion level and such, you've got opponents that have almost everything, but I feel like it's really, really useful down especially in lower levels, in silver or gold, as people start to expand their decks, but they still have a fairly low percentage of the total available cards. You can look and, okay, if they've only got one Splinter or one summoner available that's actually leveled up, then you can feel pretty confident they're going to go with that Splinter. Like if you've got a chance between playing water and life, and between those two there's only one summoner that they have leveled up and you're in gold, I mean, that's the summoner that you're probably going to see, and then you can counter that more easily. So, and that's something you could always go to their page and sort yourself, but that took time. It would to go to type in the player's name and then put the filters on to see what's available. I mean, you're spending an extra 15, 20, 25 seconds scouting, whereas here now you can look at it in 5 seconds, and that saves you time and gives you more time to do further scouting if you want to go through and look back at their history, or just more time to build your actual team. And it's just a lot less, in addition to time, it's a lot less effort. Who actually goes through and looks at all of those for every single battle? I don't on ranked. Now on tournaments I will, but on ranked battles I don't do that type of thing. And then I don't give too much. I honestly don't look at the provided win or estimated win percent too much. I'm not sure if that's really accurate enough for me to base my battles on. But for a new player especially, or it's probably more accurate down at like bronze or silver levels where there's less cards available to be played, well, fewer abilities that can really change things up. When I'm up at champion and everybody's got so many cards, it's so hard for an algorithm to really estimate and excel. Bots aren't that good up when we've got every single card available. I don't literally have every single card, but I've got a lot. I've got a lot. I mean, I have a maxed out chaos deck, in addition to a lot of other things. So it becomes a lot harder for a bot to be able to search different rule sets and different databases. There's so many more options to play. Even myself, if I see the same rule set in Mana Cap several times, I've got so many cards to choose from. I might, in 10 different battles, submit 10 completely different decks. So it's hard for an algorithm to estimate what I'm going to do. Down in bronze, where we're playing with just the starter cards, if you guys have seen those streams, I repeat the same things over and over again because there's a limited amount of options. So I feel like an algorithm can more easily pick up what an opponent's expected to play and things like that. Hopefully that makes sense. So I don't, at different levels, that information on the side that estimates your win percentage might be more useful than others. I don't personally use it, but looking at their summoners and then looking at the opponent's quest is a very big deal as well. I absolutely will go. I mean, you guys make fun of me on stream all the time because I ignore my quests. So I definitely don't gravitate towards the quest, but I am certainly more likely to play my quest than I would any other Splinter or anything like that. And there are certainly a lot of people that when if they've got a death quest up, they're gonna play death cards 60-80% of the time trying to complete that quest. Or you can see if their quest is already completed, and that's not a factor at all. So that can be very valuable information. And a lot of people don't like to see that behind a paywall. And I completely understand that. Now this is a very cheap paywall. It's 1 hive per month. So it's definitely not expensive, but it's still there. And I personally don't have a problem with it. And again, this was a question that was asked on the AMA to, I think it was Aggro that answered it. That might not be right, but somebody said, yeah, it's fair game because all of this information is freely available for anybody to go pull. Yes, it's freely available, but again, I could not go pull my opponent's quest. I don't know how to do that. So just because it can be pulled for free doesn't necessarily mean that that's logistically an option for everybody. Now I'm sure I could go learn how to do it and look it up, and I could probably learn that, but that's a big hurdle for people to overcome. And there's going to be a lot of people that are turned off by this, that there are paid advantages, but the reality is this entire game has paid advantages. I mean, that's just part of it. You can spend you can spend 1 hive on a tool like this, or you can spend money to go buy better cards. That's just a part of it. So I personally have no problems with it, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this something that you like to see? Are you going to go out and get this yourself? Do you hate that other people might be running this against you? What's going on there? So I'm very curious to see the comments down below and see what you guys think. Again, I have no problems with it, but I do understand where the other side of the argument is coming from, that you don't want to have to go out and buy third-party tools to increase your win rate, and that can rub people the wrong way. So and because this is $1 doesn't mean that other tools can't be presented or do things that are more expensive. There's people that are just against that entire precedent. And again, I understand that, but I'm perfectly okay with this. I'm probably going to keep using it myself because it saves me time in doing my scouting. And I don't know, we'll see. On stream, maybe we'll have to use some of the actual extension. I've never used the extension on stream. Maybe I'll have to use that on the next stream and see what you guys think of that being used. Maybe we can pay more attention to the win percent and see how accurate it is, like before the battle and then after the battle. We can maybe do some comparisons there. I've never really paid attention. I just started testing this out in the first place. Haven't used it much at all, so we can go look at that and gather some more information. But anyways, I can't wait to see your comments. Thank you guys so much. I apologize I haven't been streaming as much as normal. I've had a I don't know if it's COVID or a cold or what it is. I don't really think it's COVID, but it's been hard to talk for very long, so I haven't done too many streams. I tried to start streaming again on Monday and did a 2.5 hour stream. After that, I could barely talk, and I was dead for a day. So we'll see. I do have some more streams coming up. We're gonna have some tournaments coming up, so stay tuned for some information on those. I get to host some of those. That's gonna be super exciting. I'll get back into streaming more. There's gonna be a whole new streaming setup. Again, I kind of talked about that on my live stream. I won't reiterate it here, but be ready. There are big changes coming to the channel and for myself overall. So I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys.